Mm, 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 mm. Let's get that rolling. Welcome to the Respectfully Great podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Reed, and today we have a wonderful guest that's in the building. I'm super pumped. I'm super ecstatic. This is a long-term friend. I've been with friends with him since grade school. Played a lot of sports with one another. We done a plethora of things together. And I want to highlight some things before I really bring him to the stage, even though you guys see him, but before he comes in. I want to give the utmost amount of respect to this man. His family had took me in plenty of times when we were younger. If there was one word, like I was said, to describe their family, himself, and everything that he embodies is humility. He has a wonderful way of communicating his message, even if there are times where you don't even want to hear it. When you hear it from him, he has such a keen way of delivering the message to where you just feel at ease. And I think that's a talent within itself. I want to compliment him continuously throughout this live podcast episode because he deserves it. The man that he is, the way he shows up, not only for himself, but for his family. He's continuing the legacy. He's building his own legacy, not only by himself, but with his family and companion, wife, Colleen. He's doing so many wonderful things. Them as partners, they're doing so many great things. And today, I want to welcome to the stage none other, my brother, Ronnie Ruggiero Jr.
Ronnie, what's up, man?
Ronnie, what's up, my
Oh,
brother?
thank you for those kind words, man. There's nothing but love and respect for you. We've been on a journey together since we were
Absolutely.
yay high, and
Yep.
it's so great to reconnect. And to be honest with you, is it's amazing. It's such an opportunity that I don't take for granted. So I appreciate it very
Mm.
much.
Oh, no worries. I appreciate you more. What's funny is that the last time we had crossed paths, we were actually entering and leaving the bank. How ironic
Yeah,
is that?
yeah.
How
A
crazy is
while
that,
ago,
right? A while
yes.
ago. So this is a few years back. We end up seeing one another after years, entering and leaving the bank. And the reason why I want to start there, right? Because we are here today. We're going to be talking about leadership. We're going to be talking about wealth creation. We're going to talk about legacy. We're going to be talking about a plethora of things. And we're talking about finance, generational wealth.
Mm.
Obviously, we know that finances is a big part. A lot of times I hear this term all the time. I think they said they did a statistic about the average American, and they say that the average American, I think is like 75, 85%, something like that, only have $1,000 within their bank accounts. And that stat alone is alarming. So I think to myself, when we're talking about wealth creation, there's something that's a disconnect within society today that lead people astray from actually acquiring wealth. So when a conversation comes up, everybody gets like, oh, I don't want to talk about this. Nah, don't talk about money. Don't talk about finances. Everybody hiding their credit card, everybody hiding their spending. And it's like, well, we have to be fully transparent about where we are in our lives, how we deal with our finances. More importantly, what type of mindset are we embodying when it comes to subjects around these things that's actually dictating how we experience life. So when we're talking about these things, I wanted to start off with your experience of just dealing with finances.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, you said it right there. Wealth doesn't start in the hand; it starts in the mind.
Mm,
And without having that as your foundation, what can you possibly build on?
yeah,
And another thing you mentioned, there are many Americans that are struggling now, and even years ago when I was in the finance industry,
correct.
let's see, 13 years ago,
Wow.
we would go to 50-year-old, 55-year-old, 60-year-old husband and wife. The kids maybe moved out or whatnot. And I mean, it was rough
Yeah.
seeing they have $500, $1,000, and it's just there's no thought of what the future can bring. There's no wanting to build wealth. It's almost as if it's day to day. Hey, I'll go to work and that's it. Go to work and just build from there. But there's no creating. And that's what I love to help people see, that it all starts here. And it's so important.
Absolutely. So we're talking about, just so the people know, you are a man that wore many hats, and continuously putting on new hats. And the beauty that I find in you having a field of expertise when it comes to your college education, when it comes to being in finance, health, being someone that worked out, actually coaching in those fields of doing CrossFit and things of that nature. When we talk about mindset, thinking about each field of expertise, you had to have a set of mindset rules, things that you had to oblige by, or had the levels of discipline just to actually exercise to the highest levels. So when we're talking about sports, jumping back a little bit, even though we started there, growing up doing sports, one thing that your father had always taught us, and your mother and your family, you always got to show up. Every time there was a game, every time there was a practice, you see full support of your loved ones there. That's what I saw when I came to those sporting events, when I was indulged and was around your family a lot. When it came to those things, I noticed, okay, there's a psychology around this family, because even though I don't see the other families with their children, siblings, etc., everybody showed up as one family. And that's one of the things that I seen in my family, as far as when it came to support. No matter what was going on in my household, no matter what things that transpired outside of my household, it was a known thing that we show up for one another.
Yes.
And I think you being able to do that, showing up for others, acts of servitude, that was something that was primarily instilled in you within the household. Can you, just take us through some of those things where you experienced that at an early age, and now something that you're able to continue to show up for other people? Can you just take us a little bit down that journey?
It's funny. You make me think, when we were on the same baseball team, I always remember my dad saying, you got to give 110%. And he would always say it, and we would say, yeah. And then eventually you understand what he means.
Yeah.
And you have to, you give everything you got with everything you do. And, it's funny. I also remember one time, this is years ago, shoveling driveways. He always told me, he said, don't start something you're never going to finish. And I remember we got a big snowstorm, and I went across the street to one of my neighbors years ago, and I got like a quarter of the way through, and I was like, I don't want to finish this. So I just kept thinking of that. And every shovel I would toss, I would think, don't start something you're not going to finish. You said something about psychology, and the psychology is the mindset, right? So it's the Pareto principle. It's the 80-20 rule.
I like that.
80% mindset and psychology, and then it's just 20% strategy and mechanics, because people could put in the work, right? But that's only 20% of it. It's challenging.
Yeah.
But if you don't have that 80%, you don't have the foundation to build something on, you won't last. And it doesn't matter what you start, what you begin. If the psychology is not right, it's not going to work. And that's very important with creating generational wealth, because it's not just a straight shot to the top.
No
way. It's a straight shot, and then you're going to go down, and then you come up, and it's a journey.
Absolutely. The journey, being resilient, being light on your feet, being able to pivot. I think those are some of the characteristics, some of the traits that I've always seen. And I recognize now, from you being able to be in many different fields of expertise, being able to pivot, being able to start things, knowing when to stop, knowing when to continue, knowing to say, you know what, this thing right here isn't for me. I think that's one of the things that gives you an identity. When you say enough is enough, or let's continue down this path, let's give 110 in this specific area. And then once you start, once you experience whatever that field or whatever that thing is that you're looking for within that realm of doing some level of work, it's some people start things for different reasons, right? I was talking about this maybe the other day. Everybody has a starting point, right? That's their starting line. So when people go out there initially on a journey, there are many reasons that enable a person to continue. And there's some things that, impede to where people regress and they say, you know what, I'm off this. I can't do this anymore. I was watching a movie called The Long Walk, and that actually happened. You had some people that are super big, fit, etc. You wanted to say something because I know what I'm saying. You about to interject?
No, I'm thinking of The Long. I kind of think I've seen it, but I'm not sure.
Yes. So it was. Let me just. I run through a little bit of the video of the movie. There was a plethora of men. Maybe I say 15, 20 guys, whatever. They all started at the starting point. They were under military watch while they were doing this walk. There had different stipulations that they had to follow in order to continue to walk. You had to walk at a certain speed, 3 or 4 miles per hour. You get warned 3 times. After the third warning, you don't adhere to what they had to say or keep moving, you will be unalived. So their life was at stake. So there was many reasons why all of these men have started the long walk. One guy started the long walk because he said, you know what, there were some wise words of wisdom that I was graciously, privy to from his father. His father said, listen, the society was pretty much in uproar. And, it was pretty much what's the word I want to use? When the government just takes over everything. I can't think of the name of the word.
Nonsense.
Yes, nonsense. That there. I love that. Absolutely. So his father said, you know what? At the time he was at gunpoint, his father said, listen, no matter what happens today, I want you to stand on these morals and principles and always stand for our family. The guy for the military ended up unaliving his father. He's seen it right in front of him. His mother and the guy himself witnessed it. So he entered that long walk because at the end of the long walk, you have any wish that you want, right? So he initially entered the long walk to see, I'm going to change things. That was his premise of him starting the long walk. Another guy said, I started the long walk because I have nobody. So I'm starting this journey because the only thing I have is me. I have nothing to lose, everything to gain. So different people got on this walk and this journey, and I'm watching it, and it made me think about those times where people of influence come into our lives, and how much are we willing to endure, or how much are we willing to go out there and start a journey, understanding and knowing that journey is literally your journey. I know growing up, I used to look to the left, look to the right, because everything that I initially started, I always was looking for a helping hand for people to assist me, whether it's friends, we're going to go to the same college, or we're going to play for the same X, Y, and Z, or we're going to hang out at the same place. And then you start to learn and grow as you get older. Some of the things that you've done as a teenager really don't interest you no more. You enjoyed them while you done them at that time, while you was around that type of setting. You enjoy some of those things. Not saying that you don't have a love for it, but maybe time comes into place.
Yes.
Maybe responsibilities is a factor. And we were talking about just making that transition. So when I watch you and I know the history of how much you have gone into different fields, what allows you to do that? We talked about identity. How did that family environment shape and mold you to have an identity as Ronnie Ruggiero Jr.? How did the family, instill those characteristics within you to allow you to have an identity for self?
Yeah. You touched on a lot, but try and unpack a little bit.
Excuse me, I'm a little long.
No, that's good. It's good. It's good because we're on the same level and we understand. It's great. It really comes down to values.
Yeah.
What are your values? And then the challenge is that not many people really take time to understand, hey, what do I value? What are my standards? Do I have extremely high standards, or do I set my standards low? Or do I even do something worse? Do I change who I am to become like other people that are in the room just to impress them when it doesn't even matter? And then you knock your standards down and you fall short of who you truly are. So you're almost at a false identity.
Wow.
And then another thing is everyone should have a personal philosophy. What is your personal philosophy? And it could go any different way, right? For anyone. But I think it's very important to understand what your values are, what do you stand for, and what's your philosophy? And you mentioned another thing about influence, and that's kind of one of the things we're going to chat about is influence.
Absolutely.
And leadership is influence. There's nothing more, nothing less. And
Right.
influence could be a negative influence, could be a positive influence.
Absolutely.
If you're being influenced by someone, they're leading you, whether you know it or not, subconsciously or consciously. It could be someone you know, it could be someone you just met, or it could be someone that you see on your phone when you're scrolling, but
Correct.
they're influencing you, whether it's positive or negative.
Yep.
And, getting onto the topic of leadership, a lot of people seem to think that leadership is about a title, but it's not. The highest form of leadership is servant leadership. And it's about putting yourself last before everybody else. And, there are so many examples you can give on leadership, servant leadership, influence.
Correct.
Two of the, I would say, well, don't quote me, when I say this, but best examples that I could think of.
Yep.
One is an incredible, wonderful example, and one is a terrible example.
Okay.
Positive example of the greatest leader is Jesus Christ. Huge influence.
Absolutely.
The negative is Hitler. How many people followed them, even though what he did was terrible? He was still leading people,
absolutely,
but in a negative way. So it's important to understand what influences you, and you could be influenced by anything.
So true. I love that. So you know what? I love leadership. Let's dive into because we're going to be talking about a lot, right? When it comes to leadership, wealth creation, etc. So when we're talking about leadership, the reason why you can expound about this in so many forms and fashions is because you have been a leader in many different areas when it came to what you embody, things that you do. Being someone that's in CrossFit, being a coach, being a leader in that space, how did that change? Because there's always a pitch and catch, right? What they would say. It's a pitch, somebody throw the ball, somebody else catches it. When being a leader, you first have to learn how to follow. And we talked about mentorship. You mentioned mentorship. And we talked about prominent figures like Jesus, like prophets. There are other mentors that I know that you are an avid reader. You have a lot of books. There's two individuals. We talked about Jim Rohn. We talked about Tony Robbins. We tend to find ourselves in these spaces having to follow. So when it comes to leadership, how does following lead you into the leadership?
Yeah. All right. So the first thing is kind of just to backtrack a little is you have to understand what influences you. It doesn't even need to be a person. It's just what do you aspire? What do you want? One of the, well, Jim Rohn, you just said it. When I started getting deep into growth and self-development, personal development, is a guy named Jim Rohn. And one of the quotes that really hit me that I didn't understand at the time, but he said, work harder on yourself than you do on your job, whether it's a job, your career, a mission. If you're continually working on yourself, building every day, whatever you're reading, whatever you're listening to, but this is all in a positive way, right?
Right.
So building on that, whatever happens in your job, no one can take away the growth you've achieved personally.
Absolutely.
Just can't go away. That knowledge is still there. It's not gone.
Not at all.
The job may not be.
Yep.
Right? So, well, wait, let's set the record straight with the CrossFit. So, yes, I was a CrossFit coach. Let's say, what was it, 8.5 years ago. I did that for 3 to 4 years. I had started my own brand.
Absolutely.
It was during COVID. But what I will say about CrossFit, I love it. I think it's great. People give it a bad rep because they get hurt.
Yeah.
The reason is there's only two reasons. It's your pride and a bad coach. Wow. That's it. There's nothing else. CrossFit is incredibly great. It's an incredible workout. And it's great because it brings a community together.
Correct.
But the best thing about CrossFit is that it has nothing to do with physical. Yeah, you may look great and you feel great,
Mm.
But when you're doing a CrossFit workout, and I don't know if you've ever dove into CrossFit, but what
Little
I
bit.
will say is a little bit. When you get in the middle of a workout, you end up going to a dark place.
Mm.
You're physically capable of doing everything because you finish the workout, but it's your
Right.
mind that stops you. It slows you down.
Yeah.
Have you heard of David Goggins?
He's a machine.
Yeah,
David
he's a
Goggins,
machine.
he's a machine.
So I don't remember exactly what the percentage is, but he said when you're doing a workout, something like this, again, don't quote me on it.
Yeah.
But he said when you're doing a workout and you feel like you're done, you're only about 26% of the way done. You have a lot to go left. And in his book, what was it called? Can't Hurt Me. Unbelievable book. I'll drop a lot of books in here.
Absolutely. Please do so. Please do so.
It's all about your mindset. Your mind is what's in charge.
Correct.
It's in charge. It's telling you, hey, look, you could do this, you cannot do this. But the craziest thing is that every single person on the planet has a voice in their head. No one can hear it except themselves.
Absolutely.
So what is that voice saying to you all day?
Yep.
And it's usually very repetitive.
Yep.
Hey, you can't do that. You could do that. You can't do that. Don't even try it. What's the voice saying? And I think it's so important because the most important thing is the psychology. It's the mindset.
Yeah.
If the mindset is off,
you're
not going to go too far.
Yeah.
And it's sad to see when that happens because there's so many great people out there with an exuberant amount of potential, but they let it just drift away because they get caught in what's cool.
Yeah.
And it is not cool.
Yeah.
One of the things you had said about leadership and going through all these different arenas that I've been in. So yeah, I was in finance. I learned a ton about personal finance and credit and the wealth building and everything like that.
Correct.
Then I got into CrossFit, coaching CrossFit. Then I got into obstacle course races, Spartan races. And these were very mental. I used to take trips by myself to, I used to go Vermont, Atlanta, all over. And I would do these races. Sometimes I'd go by myself and I would just do them alone.
Wow.
Because I wanted to work on my mindset. I wanted to just drill it deep to say, you know what, I can do this. I can do that. But what happens sometimes if we don't continually work on ourselves, it tends to slip away. But the great thing about it is subconsciously, it's always there. And that's the voice. That's the voice in your head. So it's very important to listen to the right people that influence you in the right way. Because we're influenced by things all day long.
Correct.
It's just, what is it? And what are we doing with it?
That's powerful. I have a friend of mine, Fluddy Jules, and he's in real estate as well. He does real estate up in Connecticut. And we had a dialogue on here, right? We were talking, and he had mentioned something which made me think about how you was talking about proving to yourself and really had to have people around you that encourage you. And one thing he said throughout our dialogue, he said he had to have his trusted advisors. And when I listened to that, when he has his trusted people, he says sometimes his clients will call him up and it has nothing pertaining to what the business that they had done. They'll call him with a recommendation. Hey, do you know a lawyer that can help me with this particular situation? Or do you know somebody that can go and help me with X, Y, and Z? But he said that he keep those communications and open communications with the people that he bring into his world because he want to show up for them in ways that that's unimaginable. But he also look for those same individuals around to aid and guide them in the right direction. So when you said yourself, sometimes you took yourself on that journey without nobody else because you know you had to work on you. You know you had to develop that mindset. You said to say, you know what, I'm not going to stop. If nobody goes on this walk with me, I'm going on a walk because I want to prove to myself that I am who I say I am. Every moment you are building up the person that you desire to be. So that's very, very commendable. I love to see those approaches taken because most people, like you said, we come from a cookie cutter environment. We have the social media. We have people that'll lead you astray. There are people that come up with a message. People can have a message that they're delivering, but they don't even believe it themselves. And people have, some false narratives out there that have you going down a path that they don't even believe in. So it makes me think about how you're able to go on these journeys and say, you know what? I need to work on me. And it's possible because you have done it. If there are people out there today that don't have that confidence and they say, you know what? I tried everything. I don't know what to do. My family is not in support of what I do. My friends are not in support of what I do. My work environment, my business, it just seems like I'm the bad apple out of the bunch. What would you say out of your experiences in, being a coach? If somebody just feel like they down and out on their luck, how do you help someone get to that next level to say, you know what, I feel a little bit more confident today. And then the following day, I feel a little bit more confident till they get to the point of them bringing the things that they want into their lives?
I know people tend to overwhelm themselves very much. And I used to do that too with, hey, I got to get this done. I got to do that. I got to do this. I got to do that.
Correct.
So what happens when we start jumbling too many things is we don't get anything done. And the challenge, this could maybe go in 20 different ways, right? We're talking about someone who is unmotivated or depressed. Yes, I understand it's a huge deal. But a lot of times we put that pressure on ourselves and we end up making ourselves feel that way. And now I don't remember the exact quote. I think it was Brian Tracy who said something about being unmotivated, right? The only way to get yourself to do something is to take one step and just start doing it. It sounds very simple, right? Yeah. It is. It's just the state that we are in, the state of mind.
Correct.
It causes people to stop.
It does.
It just causes people to stop. And, you were saying something before about trusted advisors. And I love that. You got to connect me with him.
Absolutely. It's mandatory. I'll definitely do that. Sure.
Okay. Trusted advisors, right? I learned when I started in finance, because that's really where I started to begin this entrepreneurial journey. I started learning about networking with people, being resourceful with things. And ultimately, your network equals your net worth. And one of the challenging things is when people don't like to break apart from people is you will eventually become like the 5 people you surround yourself with the most.
Yeah.
If you were to hang around, not you, but anyone in general watching.
Sure. Myself included.
Yeah, here you go.
Absolutely.
If you were to hang around with 4 millionaires, right? We talk about money, 4 millionaires long enough, you're going to become the 5th.
Absolutely.
It's just bound to happen because you will start becoming like them.
Yeah.
Influence, leadership. It's all intertwined once you start really diving deep into all these different parts. So it's so powerful to really understand the psychology behind it. Now, talking about someone who is unmotivated or depressed, right? Let's try something. I'd like to try something with you.
Yep.
All right. Close your eyes for a quick second. Open them up. Look around for everything you can see in the room you're in that's red. Look up, down, on the screen, on the side, all red. Any red?
Yep.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
What did you see that was brown?
Nothing,
right?
Nothing.
Why?
Because my focus was on red.
Focus was on red. I love that you said focus because that's where I was going. You focus on red, right? Red. You'll find it.
Absolutely.
Just like if you focus on what you don't want, you'll get it.
Say that one more. Don't please reiterate that one more time.
Okay. You focus on, if you focus on something long enough, whether it's good or bad, you're going to get it.
Wow.
Just like you're looking for red, right? Everyone's looking for red, but you saw nothing that was brown because you weren't searching for it.
Yep.
More so about focus, you keep focusing on something, no matter, even if you just had the greatest day, but you come home and I don't know, you stub your toe,
Yeah.
whatever. You start thinking about all other negative stuff, even though you had the greatest day,
Yeah.
you're going to start feeling bad because you're
True.
focusing on it.
Yep.
What you focus on, you feel. And where
Mm.
focus goes, energy flows. It's a law. It's a
Yep.
law.
Yep.
So it's very important to really focus our energy on the right thing.
You know what I love about that, right? Focusing our energy on the right thing. I know there's some things out there that would aid us to be in a space to where we can focus. So a lot of times we I know we as human beings are selective, right? Sometimes we do things that are very, very comfortable because
Mhm.
it's the norm. We're able to do it. So it feels like, hey, I could do this with my eyes closed. For
Yes.
some odd reason, some of the things that we need to do that would better us in the long run, we tend to avoid or not be consistent at it because we haven't put the energy around it. There was a book that I was reading called um Charles Duhigg. I can't think of the name. Is
Sounds familiar.
Charles Duhigg. He was talking about habits. The sum of habit. The power, not the power of habit.
The Power of
One
Habit.
one is James Clear because he had a habit
Oh,
book.
Atomic
And Charles,
Habits. Yeah.
yep, Atomic Habits is James Clear. The other one is Charles Duhigg. His is something about habits. It's
Power
yellow,
of Habit.
yellow and red. But long story
Yes.
short,
Yeah.
yep,
The Power of Habits. I'm looking
power
for
habit.
it. Yeah.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah.
In that book, though, he says something that's super, super profound that allows one to get to that next stage of wanting to do a thing. So what he said was is that in order for himself to be motivated to do a thing, he started to place things around him that would aid him to do the thing. So he said in the morning, if he wanted to go to the gym, certain things that he needed to do in order to aid himself to get out that door, go to the gym, he made places his workout fit, whatever. He will lay that out on the kitchen table. So when he goes to get his coffee in the morning, he will see the workout fit. It's a reminder to you got to get to the gym. He said he go in the bathroom to go brush his teeth. He may have his headphones, iPad, whatever, tablet, whatever he need to do in order to get his music on or listen to whatever a thing. He placed that in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So he started setting up almost like a little network around him of things that will remind him, similar to what you said about the focus with the red around him in order to do the thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that was super, super profound. And it makes me think about the same thing we was talking about, having that focus.
Yeah.
Sometimes we need to place things around us in order for us to do the thing. You said acts of servitude. You said when you show up as a servant, you show up as the last person because you want to help everybody else. Like same thing when you talked about Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn said another thing like, if you help enough people get what they want, you eventually get what you want. And it
Very
made me
much.
think about all of these principles that surround us in order to be successful. Success leaves clues. My sister Eliana, she says this all the time. She says this, the thing of getting in a room. You got to get in a room. You got to get in a room. You got to get in a room. And she says success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. I was watching a post that you had, and you talking about getting in a room. It seems like I look at you, and you're always in a room. You're in a room full of athletes. You're in a room full of educators. You're in a room full of family. You're in a room. You're always in a room. One time I see you in a room with Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
Right there. And I'm saying to myself, you got to get in the room. How important is getting in the room when you want to be successful at a thing?
You know, it really comes down to just building out the network, and getting in the room is just it's the first step.
Okay.
And yeah, you know, success is different for everybody, right?
Ooh.
Success leaves clues, but what is success to you?
Ooh.
You can make it as challenging as this, and I know I kind of derailed a little bit.
No. You right on course.
Success is different for everybody, right?
Yep.
One person A could say success is, all right, I'll make $1 million. When I make $1 million, I'm successful. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't. It could be challenging to achieve that, but it also could mess up the mind. Person B says, hey, I'm a success because I have a beautiful family. And he feels it every day. So every day he feels like a success, which maybe he pursues to go and earn $1 million, whatever it may be. but make it easy to feel things of pleasure, especially when you define success.
I like that.
And even more so, talking about success, you could define wealth differently too. What's
Explain.
wealth? Wealth is
Explain.
not just money. Wealth is your health. Wealth is your relationships.
Yeah.
Wealth is your time. Wealth is a lot.
Yeah.
What does wealth mean to you in those certain areas? So it's very important to have these. Well, let me say this.
Yeah.
Every one of us has rules that we follow for ourselves.
I like that.
We all have rules, and
Absolutely.
there are personal rules. And sometimes, we could talk about relationships, right?
Absolutely.
If we have a certain rule about something and it's a definite, hey, no, I'm not doing that. But our spouse or our partner has a different rule and looks at it differently, and it's fine with them. Then we come and we find that inner battle, right? Where what I have this rule, but I shouldn't do it, but she wants to do it. So I don't know. And then we could dive into that. That's a lot, right? But I've been studying this stuff since 2019 with Tony.
Yeah.
Years ago when I got into finance, someone told me about Tony Robbins, and I kind of just brushed it off. I realized it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When I finally went to one of his events, everything that I learned, it blew me away.
Yeah.
I've attended probably at least 15 to 20 of his events now.
Wow.
I'm so involved with that. And now I'm pursuing to become one of his leaders in his company. And it's so mind blowing.
Hold on, round of applause. Let me applaud you for that one. Let me applaud you for that. Let me applaud you for that. I gotta get that in. Hold up, man. I want this. Listen, man. We get flowers in real time. We get flowers in real time, man.
Thank you.
Continue. Sorry.
But yet, no, it's funny because people who don't know anything about Tony except what they read, or people who haven't been to one of his events, they have this opinion of him.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, you can't have an opinion if you haven't experienced it. And the things that he teaches are just basic things, but people don't think of these things. And he builds on these fundamentals that can really explode your life in every single area. And it's so powerful. And he talks about these things. And to kind of just go back to leadership really quick.
Right. Absolutely.
There's 3 mandates of leadership. There's just 3. So let's use an example. And let's say you just bought a brand new car, a brand new Benz. You just drove it off the lot. You saved up for it. It took you 5 years or whatever it did. And it's beautiful. Perfect. Everything that you wanted. You drive it off the lot. And as soon as you turn, boom, someone sideswipes.
Trouble.
What do you do in that situation?
Feel out of loss.
So the 3 mandates of leadership is see the situation as it is and not any worse.
I like that.
You got into a car accident. Are you still breathing? The car can be fixed. Is it a pretty big ding? It's your brand new, beautiful Benz. It stings a little.
Yeah.
But you're okay.
Yep.
Second is you see it better than it is.
Mm-hmm.
So picture that situation and
see better than it is.
Better.
Okay, I'm with you.
And then the third is make it the way you see it. Those are the 3 mandates of leadership. And to quote one of the guys who I have learned a lot about from leadership, for leadership, is John Maxwell. John Maxwell, he's a pastor. He's down in the South somewhere, I believe.
Right.
But he has written so many books on leadership. And what he says about a leader is a leader who is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way.
Ooh.
Leaders go first. And it's important. If you call yourself a leader just because you're the boss at work and you're telling people what to do and cracking a whip all day and not leaving your desk, you're not a leader.
Not at all.
You're not a leader. A leader says, hey, come here, come with me, and let's do it together. It's important to be able to distinguish what a true leader is.
Mm.
A lot of people see people with a high net worth, a high position in a company. It doesn't automatically necessarily make them a leader. They could be a
Oh,
great person, right? But it doesn't mean that they're a
yeah,
leader. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just giving examples of what the world sees, right? This is
for
just what
sure.
people see.
Yeah,
So it's very important. It's very
for sure.
powerful to understand the true principles of leadership.
I agree with you because we know everybody that's in that position. We know nepotism. Some people just put people in place because they know them, right? Family member,
Yeah.
whoever, etc. So we know a lot of times there are people that are in positions that don't have the qualities of leadership. They don't know how to delegate. They don't know how to put people in position. They're not willing to go out there and be the example. Get their hands dirty. Go do the work. Go assist and finding those blind spots. We were talking before, prior to to today, few days ago, we were talking about blind spots. And
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned something as well about being a coach and being a leader, being able to find out where people have the missing component that they need in order to get them motivated to do the thing or to be accomplished in whatever area they feel they seen or deem success as being. Because we know, like you said, success is different for every person. So
Yeah.
you were talking about creating a value system. What are your core beliefs? What
Mm-hmm.
are the things that you feel that you need to bring into your world in order to feel like a success? It may not
Mm-hmm.
be the money. It may be the family, just being
Yeah.
around the loved ones. So
Yep.
when I think about these things, I think about, well, for people out there, I think almost doing like a self audit, right? Per se, finding out, okay, what is it that you want? The simple questions, like you said, Tony Robbins does. He asks those questions that most people tend to glance over. They really don't focus on those things. They really don't
Yeah.
give it no attention. And I think about these things of, well, in order to show up as a leader, are you able to take yourself outside of yourself and see, okay, if I were walking in their shoes, what would I be doing? 9 times out of 10, doing what they do. But also, how can I, if I'm here, how do I get here, the next step? And being a coach, you got to be able to find those blind spots. And I think that's one of the qualities that allow you to see things from afar. How you able to go and say, you know what? Hey, I can just go for this next investment property. Okay, you're helping somebody else come into their world, and you want to help them get their first property. You want to say, you know what? You want generational wealth. Let's create. Well, what does wealth look like to you?
Yeah.
And then now we could come up with a game plan to do that. I know there's
Yeah.
something else that you do that a lot of people, some people do, some people are aware of it, some people don't care to do so. But I know that you're a person that creates vision boards.
Yeah.
And
Very much.
the beauty, I have one too. Wherever it's at, it's somewhere. But anyway, I have one, right? And I didn't understand the premise of it.
Mm-hmm.
The culture that I grew up in, the principles and the teachings that I heard from outside things that I attached myself to, I always attached myself to, if you want the thing, don't ever speak about it. Like as if it was a bad omen.
Mm.
As I grew to this day now, right? And I'm learning more about personal development, growth, etc. I was being led by some false teachings from where I got the information from, because I'm literally stopping the things that I want to bring into my world, that I want to experience. I was stopping it because I had no way to connect with it, because I was actually pushing it away.
Very much.
So when you said, when I noticed that you really take pride in creating this vision board, how important it is for people in the world to actually start to detail what is it that they want to see, bring, have, and experience.
Mm-hmm.
How important is that?
I started doing vision boards. It's got to be over a decade now. And,
Wow.
I'm not saying this, pat myself on the back, right? But it's having a vision.
Mm.
Let's talk about a basic principle from the Bible. Without vision, people perish.
Absolutely.
You have to have a vision for your life. You can't, it's so unacceptable now to just go through the motions. You can't just do that.
You can't.
Life is precious and life is short.
Yep.
I mean, we're clocking 40, man. It's coming, right?
On that
and
door.
How fast was that? Fast.
Fast, very fast. Blink of an eye. Really.
Yeah. And if you're not living every day doing what you love, I'm sorry to say it, but it's like the ultimate failure.
So true.
It's not, you're not wasting life, but you're really wasting time.
Yep.
And when I started to really put this stuff together, I said, you know what? There's no way. You can't do this anymore. You got to do what you love.
Yeah.
So creating these vision boards, you're putting things on your vision board that you want, that you love,
Right.
that makes you feel good. Like when you look at your vision board, it has to make you smile.
Oh, it does.
And and one of the things is the vision board is you must have, that's the what is the vision board.
Correct.
But you need to have a why attached to it. And
Yes,
one of the things that I've learned is when you think of your why, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not why. It's your why that you think other people want you to have.
Ooh.
So if it's not making you emotionally stirred, you need to dig deep and you have to really embrace what's driving you. Why are you doing it? It's so important. And to talk about the vision board goal setting, and not pushing things away, but bringing them closer, is your goals have to be smart. They have to be smart goals. They have to be specific. Specific goals, by creating your vision board, you can put pictures up of yourself or whatever it is you may want, but it has to be exactly. It has to be measurable.
Right.
You cannot manage what you don't measure. You have to understand that. It's very important. The A, smart, I'm smart. So A is achievable. You have to know it's not going to be something like, hey, I'm going to take a drive down the street. Achievable. Make it achievable where it's going to push you to become a better person. And subconsciously in your mind, in your heart, that you can achieve it. Then you have to make it relevant. R. Does it align with who you truly are? Or are you just writing this down saying, hey, you know what? This is what I think that I should do. You have to make it align with your values. It's got to be relevant. And then the T is time-based. You have to put a clock on it.
Yep.
That's the purpose of the vision board, right? Some people can make a vision board for the year. You can make a vision board for 5 years, 10 years down the road, whatever it may be. My first vision board that I did, it was a huge poster and I put like 100 pictures on it. And it was just everything I wanted in my life. And then at the end of the year, I'm like, I didn't even get close to any of this stuff. I was just so excited and I didn't really understand the psychology behind it. But now every year, since Colleen and I started dating, we started doing this, and we've been doing it year after year after year.
Powerful.
We may not be getting everything on that vision board, but we're getting closer to it. And for the first year, in the first time ever, the vision board we had for 2025, it kind of trickled over to 2026. Yeah. Because it took us time to build a foundation behind the vision board. And now we can start throwing up some columns.
Absolutely. So
it's just, it's not the same goals, but it's the same vision. I think we're at a point in life where of course we have the same vision, but the same vision that we want for our life. So we put on there our values, what we value. Our values won't change, right? The values can only add to them. You're not going to take away your values. And even with standards, if you have high standards for yourself or maybe too high, that's when you start setting a lot of really wild rules for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm
extremist, right?
I'm a really, not, I wouldn't say a neat freak, but I'm an organized guy. I'm really organized. And I've been this way.
Me too, my boy.
I've been this way for my whole life. We just adopted a dog.
Yeah.
I can't go berserk if there's a couple of things around. Sure. I'm not like that anymore, right? Yeah. So I allowed myself to change that. It's all about evolving as a person and just becoming a better leader, a better person, and understanding who you are. Which another important thing is understanding what your assets are.
What do you consider assets?
Assets. So what are your strengths? What are your skills? What do you know 100% that you're great at? You can go and do it right now. The challenge is that people know more about their liabilities than they do about their assets.
That's true. That's true.
And that causes huge conflict.
It does.
Anyone who knows more about their assets than their liabilities, they have a better potential to have a great quality of life by understanding your assets.
Make
For
sure
anyone that's listening, go and figure out what your assets are and know them and embody them.
I like that. Most people associate their assets as strictly financial. You're saying it's not only financial, correct?
See, but that's the thing, right? And I'm so glad you said that, because these are things that we have been taught.
Yep.
And in all honesty, I'm going to give you my answer, but I want to hear yours. I'm curious if it's the same.
Absolutely.
In all of your years in school, throughout middle school, high school, probably more so high school, maybe even college if finance wasn't studied. What did you learn in high school about personal finance?
Nothing.
No. You know what I learned? I remember writing a check.
Yeah.
That's all I did. Who writes checks nowadays? No one.
Nobody. Everything's on their phone, digital.
Yeah. It's just this stuff wasn't taught.
No,
and it's still not being taught.
Nope.
Things might be shifting a little bit, right? You know, people are opening their eyes now, but nothing is taught about that.
No.
And that's what I mean about the assets. Understanding what you're good at. What are your strengths? You have to know your strengths, but you also have to know your weaknesses and be willing to say, hey, you know what? I'm not that great at this, but let me find someone who is incredible or extraordinary at it, and I can just follow what they're doing, right? They're influencing you. Leadership. Not going to be a follower forever. Or you follow Christ. Yes.
Absolutely.
But we must understand that following transitions into embodying who that person is we want to be, and then that transitions into leadership.
Ooh,
I
like that. That's powerful. Man, becoming the person.
Yes.
Becoming the person. And like you said, you learned along your journey, okay, there's certain things that, I like personally at the moment. But I also know that at times I have to yield to some of the things and not be so extreme, because with my growth, this is not going to be a beneficial thing. This is not going to be an asset. This may end up being a liability because my standards now are unrealistic. I created my vision board of everything I want to experience until eternity, and being realistic to accomplish all those things, it literally have to be in eternity. It's not a thing that's going to be feasible and accomplishable within the next year, 2 years, 3 years, etc. So what you're saying, putting up them columns, planting that seed, doing things from a perspective of saying that, I will eventually get there as I mature as a person and become the person to do the thing. So when you said these things, it makes me realize of how many areas of my life where there was a lot of ignorance for not wanting to mature because I was too caught in my own things. I was too prideful. I was too egotistical. So the things that I could have learned maybe 5-10 years ago, etc., I was saying, I am Johnny Reed. I do things like this. People like me do things like this. Nobody can tell me nothing. You haven't experienced what I experienced. You haven't gone down the path I've gone down. So my decisions is only based on my own testimony. That can be a tool, but it also going to be a detriment to your growth.
Yes.
And that's what I had to learn how to balance that. So when you said these things, it makes me realize of some of the areas where I had pride, ego, lack of maturity, a combination of things that was stopping me from growing. And I kept hitting that wall. Even when finance, I was a person that, had the money at one point in time where I had the money to throw around. I literally threw it around until I had no money. And then I started to do things that would compromise my integrity, who I am as a person, et cetera, until I find myself in financial woes. Now that I'm just getting out of those things now, out of years of misuse and mishandling of me, who I am, my principles, all those things added up to me being who I am. And that was primarily me not having that identity with self. I was disconnected from self. I took on another form of identity of what the other people were doing, being led by the wrong individuals, attaching myself to the wrong crowds. I started to act, like you said, those 4 other individuals that you're around. I wasn't around the 4 millionaires. I was around 4 of the scumbags, right? No pun intended to the people. I'm just saying that as far as the psychology, great human beings, right? But the things that we're doing we're going against our belief system. And
Yeah.
that's what allowed us to, be in trouble in times. So when you say these things, I resonate with them on another level, because now I think about the why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Why is it important for me to understand finance? Why is it important for me to have wealth creation? Why is family important to me? Why building a community of know, like, and trust with my air likes, with my community, with my friends, and people that I see are doing great things. So even the platform in itself, I want to attach myself to great things. You're a great individual, a great person. You're a person that do a lot of acts of servitude. Your service, you show up as a servant, and that's one of the things that I recognize within you and how you connect with people. Like I said, when I see you in these different rooms, you showing up as you. You showing up as maybe by myself, or I may show up with 100 people, because we all represent the same thing. So that's why it's powerful for people to have an understanding of how you show up, in what manner. Sometimes people could show up for the wrong reasons. So we can get out there and do some things that's, frowned upon, because we know, why is he or she, I know I've seen it even with children. I know this person is a good kid, because I was one of those same individuals, but I see that kid is a good kid, just doing the wrong things, misguided. So now we can see these things because we experienced them. So we see it and we're like, okay, I know what that looks like. All they need is some trusted advisors around them to get them to those next levels.
Absolutely.
When it comes to you, when it comes to your wealth creation, what are some of the goals that you look forward towards? Like, what do you see when you say wealth? Right? We talked about it means different things to different people. If I were to ask you, what does wealth look like to you? What would it look like?
I love that question, man. That's great.
Thank you.
As corny as it may sound, like I said, we're approaching 40, right?
Yeah.
In the past couple of years, I started to really truly understand life. Now, I'm not an expert in this, but just experiences. Life is very fragile, and to understand that we're only here for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
I think people don't understand that very well. They may hear it, but they don't understand it. And it took me a while to really get it too. So with wealth, what is wealth to me?
Yeah.
As corny as it sounds, wealth is health. Because unfortunately, if you don't have your health, what do you have? You could be the richest man in the world.
Yep.
But you could be dying.
Yeah.
In that moment, what's more important? A few more minutes with your loved ones, or all the money in the bank?
Yep.
Everyone's going to have the same answer.
Yep.
Right? And you've heard it before. You've never seen a trailer hearse.
Yep.
It doesn't happen.
Yep.
So it's very important to understand what wealth is to you. Now, we could talk about money for a second.
Yeah.
Wealth.
Let's talk about it. Yep.
Assets. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take them out. The easiest way, and something that I have seen a lot, is people are just constantly swiping the credit card. That's all right. I'll pay it. It's only a few bucks interest a month. No. Yes, go ahead.
No. I'm raising my hand because I've done it.
Yeah. You know what? It can either continue, or you say, you know what, something is wrong. I need to figure this out. But yeah, so assets, put money in your pocket.
Yeah.
For me and my wife, our main focus for building wealth is real estate. Physical asset, not money in the bank, not liquid, but physical asset, is going to appreciate. I mean, you've seen it happen here in New York. Houses that were a few years ago, 500,000 are now 1.4, 1.5. It appreciates. So yeah, I mean, that maybe we do another podcast. We can talk about stuff like that.
We definitely doing that. I'm down for it. It's funny because you made me think about that, about New York real estate. My companion earlier, she brought something to my attention, And she said, do you know that they just passed the law out here in the 5 boroughs that they be able to do the tiny homes?
Mm-hmm.
So now you can buy the lot. Now, ironically, you think about it, you have a 40-story building, and then you see a tiny home that looked like a
Yeah.
like a dog kennel or something, like a, you know what I mean? Look like a dog
Yep.
house. So it's like, ironically, but the thing is, the real estate, the space, they don't have more land. So anything you could do is just build up, erect, right? So with the limited amounts of space, once you get in, there's a lot of room for wealth creation.
Yes.
Why the wealth is important? Ideally, say we won't be here for, you know, generations on, because at some point in time we're going to meet the grave, right? But if we building up families, we understand the term generational wealth. So creating this wealth, you allow the ones that come after you to have a leg up, to have an experience that maybe we haven't experienced. Yes, we have our own experiences getting to the thing, doing the thing,
Yes.
learning along our journey. But we want people to inherit, because we love them enough to say, you know what, after me, there's going to be somebody else. And if I want to continue to build my family, I want to continue to build these assets, they can enjoy the fruits of the labor, even if I'm not here to enjoy it. Because I think that's a testament to how we just pass torches.
Yeah.
Our families, our loved ones, our parents, at some point in time, they're going to stop, right? And at that point of them stopping, they say, here, Ronnie, you take the torch and run with the family. And then now you have a moral obligation to upkeep that in the near future. So now your children and loved ones can enjoy and say, you know what, all right, it's our time to take the baton and run. And I think that it builds a systematic mindset of knowing that, okay, here in our family, we're looking for generational wealth. We're looking to invest. How do we invest? We start identifying who we are, what are our goals, what is our mission, what do we value? And I think that you can create more, like, you can create better people in society by these practices. Because I look at these things like, well, why the question, well, why don't people acquire wealth? And then we got to go back. We thinking it's just a money thing. It's not just a money thing. It's a psychology thing.
Yes.
As well as a discipline thing, as well as an investment thing. How do you tell a person, take, you know, a portion of their money, like, you know, the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. That's my first time. As crazy as it sounds, that's my first time really, after I read that book, to really understand how to break down a dollar. I didn't know how to break down a dollar. I thought that every dollar that I made was mine to spend. So I never understood the investment part. I would just take every dollar that I make from whatever source I got it from, and I say, this is mine to keep. But I never thought about, okay, a portion to tuck under the mattress, a portion to invest, a portion to live off of, a portion to tithe, portion to give away, do the acts of servitude. I didn't know those things. So now that I understand it, I'm like, okay, when there's a rainy day, it teaches me to live below my means. So I don't spend every dollar. So when the rainy day come, I have enough funds or resources around that can move around to make sure that I sustain longevity. Because it's not,
it could be a rainy day, or it could be a rainy season, man.
Come on, loved one. It could be a rainy day or a rainy season. And then now at that point, what do you do? But if you wasn't preparing for those moments and understanding that there will be a day and a time that's going to come, how do we ever, you know, most times that will cripple a family or a generation because of not being able to adjust during the times. And I think that's one of the things that you are able to teach us, and the business that you're building and the businesses that you've been involved in. This is what I want people to understand and know, that your firm, you and your wife, it's not only building generational wealth, but you showing how to build strong relationships. I watched something from your companion, and she said something that's super profound that I'm going to implement within my family. And she said that when it comes to, I don't know if it's verbatim, but along the lines of, she doesn't expect her strengths on other people. And I thought that was so profound, because we have this expectation factor.
Mm-hmm.
So we expect people to show up and do the things that we do. We expect people to be as efficient at this one thing, and not knowing that, no, they may not be as great as I am in this one thing, but they're great at doing some other things that I'm poor at. And once you start to understand that balance of saying, you know what, even in our relationships, even with our friends, even with our families, you allow yourself to grow and yield to some of the things that may cause more friction because we expect everybody to show up like us.
Yeah.
And I think that was super profound. When she said that, I'm like, I'm using that for my family because that's
Okay.
something that I want to know and be
Great.
able to grow with, you know? So it'd be those things where you start to learn, yes, it's a psychology thing. It's an asset thing. It's a wealth creation thing. It's a, money. It's a plethora of things together that you got to keep piecing together in order to make the blueprint ideally for you and your loved ones, because your family may grow up on different morals and principles. Your wife, your kinship, your friendship, your love, all of these things takes the communication thing, what you said earlier. It's about communicating. We have to understand and know, okay, how are we communicating with one another? How am I putting my business out there so people understand and know, no, here we do this together. No, there's some work that you have to do that you have to know where your strengths and your weaknesses are. If you're tempted, like what's his name? The Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey. Like, he got his methods. When I first learned about him, I'm like, this might be a little extreme because I like nice things. I like to buy things. I do like but when he said, yo, listen, man, pay everything off. And then when you start to go out there and you want to purchase things, hey, make sure you have the means of doing so that you can afford to do it. And I think just that alone, just making me aware to understand finances from a different perspective instead of the swipe.
Yeah.
That's something that I'm like, okay, I just can't swipe. I can't swipe my life away because all I would be is in debt. And if I'm trying to build wealth, we got good debt, we got bad debt. How do I want to invest? So when I look at you and what y'all building, it allows people to attach themselves to wealth creation.
Yeah.
And I want you to let people know from your space of how you can do that from a business aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one thing I wanted to mention, what you had said about what Colleen said.
Yes.
It's really change your expectation for appreciation.
Ooh.
And everything can change.
Wow.
It's really about being grateful. As simple as it sounds, you have to be grateful. You wake up in the morning, be happy you woke up, because some people don't.
Ooh, absolutely.
And these are the things that I've learned over the past few years.
Yeah.
More spiritual things, right?
Yeah.
It's just understanding that our time is limited.
Yeah.
You hear people all the time say, and you know what? I forgot your question. You're going to have to repeat it, but one sec.
No, yeah, I got you. I remember it.
Time. And we talked about this the other day, you and I.
Yeah.
Everyone is saying time goes fast. Does it?
Yeah.
It does. But what we do on a daily basis, me included, right? Everyone really, is we're always on our phone.
Yep. Ooh, all
What's
day.
the biggest thing on our phone is the clock.
Yep.
We're always looking at the clock.
Yeah.
I promise you, anyone that's looking or watching, instead of looking at your phone, spend a day out in nature. Ooh. I guarantee you it's going to be a long day. No phones, no clocks, just out in nature. Yeah. It will last a long time.
Yep.
So time is different for everybody, right? How do we view time? It's important to understand that because recently, well, not recently, I've always been a big animal guy. I love animals.
Yeah.
And I started bird watching. As old man as it sounds, I love watching birds. I think they're just incredible. Even the sparrows. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Their legs are as thin as a piece of paper.
You ain't lying.
You spend time 10 minutes outside, I guarantee you it will feel like forever. Yeah. Just sitting outside, just watching these birds fly. It's so cool. So that's one of the challenges I'll leave you all with, is to do that.
Absolutely.
I guarantee you it can change the way you view a lot.
I think you gave us the solution to everybody feeling time being sped up. Literally put down the phone and experience being outside without it. Yep. And the days will feel longer. I think, man, that's you cracked the code.
Let me know how it works and when you do it.
The question that I was asking to this point was about your business, right?
Mhm.
How you do business. What is it that you want to get accomplished? How do you want to bring people into your world? How do you want to serve people through your business? What is it that you do to bring people to the table so they can have the thing that you want to offer or that you business and that you offer?
So the one thing I would say is that if you're looking at people as a dollar amount in a transaction, I don't care what your business is,
Yep.
you're not going to last.
Ooh.
If you're not building true, lasting relationships and wanting to serve people and help them the highest quality possible, you can thrive up to whatever you thought plus. But if you see people that are just looking at someone as a dollar sign, first of all, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Second of all, it's not going to last. It may look great for now, years, whatever it may be, but I guarantee you it cannot last. It cannot.
No.
There's no way. So the number one thing is building relationships, true relationships.
Yeah.
And, so many people go to networking events, and I think they're great.
Yeah.
It depends on which ones and what you're doing with them.
Correct.
Now, if you go to a networking event and you're just handing out cards and you're the card collector collecting cards, that's not the best approach. Are you building your database? Yes. Are you building it healthy? Most likely not.
Yeah.
But if you go to a networking event and you spend a couple hours, whatever it may be, and you connect with one or two real people, you connect, but you get 20 cards, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But even if it's just one true relationship, and maybe he's on here watching right now.
Absolutely.
But we went back to one, my wife and I, back last April. And I mean, me and this guy, we're like this now.
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so powerful when you're building relationships and not looking at people. Hey, what can you do for me? No, you have to look at it. What can I do for you? How can I help you? And one of the things that I will tell you is very important. This is kind of off topic.
Yeah.
Remember people's names. People love to hear their name. Even if, and it's so cool. It's wild to do this. I want to try this. So we were somewhere recently, and actually it was an open house. It was an open house. And then people were walking in the door. They came in, but they introduced themselves to my wife or one of my colleagues.
Correct.
And they came in, and I heard their names.
Yep.
I said hi to them. I met them, but they may not have told me their name.
Yeah.
At the end, I said, "Oh, have a good day, so-and-so." And they look at me either very confused, or they just truly appreciate it. People love to hear their names. So that's one of the things that's very important, is remember their names. And even if you can find one thing that you can connect with, you'll have an instant connection. And it doesn't even have to be, let's say you go to a real estate networking event. You walk in there, there's a bunch of lenders, there's agents, there's investors, whatever it may be. You go in there and you connect with someone. Hey, man, that's a really nice shirt. I like that. Or something like that, something simple, but you truly mean it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you connect on something else. Oh, you play golf? Yeah, so do I. Oh, I was just in Florida. You're golden, but you're doing it genuinely. You're not making it up. And that's what's very important. And I truly believe that when you build your business on principles like that, there's nothing that can stop it at all. Oh, well, maybe your mind, but nothing else.
So that real human interaction, some of the things that we missing because everything's through the net. A lot of times people try to build that interpersonal connection and it's hard to build. You know, people, they would say, quote unquote, socially awkward. It's because they're not in front of people having organic conversations. We put things in front of us to communicate. We put the devices, we put some of these, whatever technologies out there, we tend to do it. Technology is a good thing to a degree, depending on how we use it. But ultimately, the human on human interaction is so important. And it's like a funny, quick topic. I was talking to one of my cousins, it's like my niece. and she's doing the door-to-door sales selling Verizon. So she called me. She said, Johnny, man, I've been out here all day, and I shout out Dariana, my cousin. She said, I've been out here all day. I just need one more person to sign up. Need one more person to sign up. I said, Cuzzo, I would love to sign up, but I'm already with Spectrum, right? So I said, listen, I know it may feel discouraging. I said, but you going door to door, you are developing the skill that most people your age do not have. You getting in front of people. And although you going, I told her, go for the no. I got a book, send it to her, go for no. But I'm telling her, keep knocking and keep getting rejected. Keep looking for the no. So eventually when you get the yes, you can appreciate it. So although I'm your cousin and you would think that I would say yes because I'm a relative, today I'm telling you no. And it's not because I don't love you. I love you more. That's why I'm telling you no. Because I can't, it'd be nothing for me to switch to another cable company. It's not that problem. Pay extra couple dollars. It's not going to make that big of a difference. But I want to show her there going to be some people that even love you that tell you no. I'm one of those people today. But there are going to be some other people that you don't know that are going to tell you yes. So it's not about the person on the opposite end. It's about who you becoming every time you knock on each door. So keep knocking on those doors, and then eventually you're gonna have so many doors that's like, hey, take this, sign me up. So it just makes me think about that interpersonal connection, and I appreciate you offering that to us, because we tend to miss out on those things. We tend to put business before the people. We're not understanding that the people is why we here. The people allow us to do the business.
Yep.
If we don't have the people, you don't have a business.
Absolutely.
So the main thing is that make the people the business. And when you're saying remember the names, show up in that fashion, talk to people, be aware. Your awareness was up. So you say, you know what, I'm not going to speak right now, but I'm going to listen. You was patient enough. You was patient enough to listen. So you listened and you heard the names. You say, you know what, let me show how well, not just to show off, let me show how much I'm in tune with the people that I'm around in real time. Because I'm not here on my phone. I'm not here like do. I'm still here amongst the people. And I know how to lead and follow. You know, the pitch and catch, you know, okay, this is the time to double dutch when I get in. And then when the people about to, leave, you say, you know what, how about I show my level of appreciation by acknowledging their name. And I think that is so powerful. And that's one of the things that you left me with. And I know you offer our community here with the same level of insight, because we don't get to hear these things often, you know? And I think that's one of the things that I always recognize within you, your family, the things that you do and the things you attach yourself to, is because you always built that type of connection, you know? And I think it's a testament to who you are and the people that you're around, because it seems like y'all have you have a similar value system, because you can't be around these people and they not be attached to one another and the things that you guys do. So I commend you for that. I could talk to you for days, right?
I know. Yes.
And what I want to do, I want to be respectful of your time and your family. So we're gonna leave. I want you to leave us with some other things, but I want to let you know that this invitation is extended and it's open for you, your loved ones, whoever decide that they want to come on the platform at any given time, no matter what it is. If you say I got a message, I want to tell the people something, right? You're always welcome. So I want to get that out before we get to anywhere else, right? So I'm gonna let you know that. You know,
that so much.
Yeah, and I know in due time, when you get your pod, if you decide to do that, right?
Yes.
Sign me up. I'm willing to be there.
Absolutely.
And I commend you on that journey.
Absolutely.
Leave us with your recommended books first.
Okay, I could do that. So the first one that my favorite book that I've ever read is The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino.
Powerful book.
Powerful book. And it's a little book you could read in a day.
Like this.
The second one would be As a Man Thinketh by James Allen.
Man.
And that one's then too.
Yep.
I think one of the best books by John Maxwell is his first one, Developing the Leader Within You. That's a bigger book, but there's so many principles in it. And the way John Maxwell writes is he writes so beautifully, where he blends in these true stories about leadership. I honestly, I think I would recommend that one the most out of
Absolutely.
the 3. And then the number 1 book that actually has 66 books in it is the Bible.
Yeah.
You may not be proficient in the Bible, but I will tell you this. If you pick up your Bible
Mhm.
and you read Proverbs and you're looking for true wisdom and knowledge,
Mhm.
there's a challenge I want to leave you with.
Okay, let's do it.
Today is the 8th.
Yep.
What I want you to do tomorrow, and this is the challenge. Tomorrow is the 9th. Read the 9th chapter in Proverbs. Just once. Read it once. And then on the 10th, read the 10th chapter.
I like
And
that.
so on and so on. There's 31 chapters in Proverbs. I promise you, if you do it for one day, you could do it for 2, then you could do it for a week, and then a month, and then eventually it becomes a habit that you want to continue doing. You'll start highlighting things, underlining, and you'll start seeing things. You'll start acting differently.
Wow.
You will start becoming who you were designed to become.
Absolutely.
Guarantee you that. But this is a challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's up for a challenge most of the time,
Yeah.
but not everyone sees a challenge through.
Yeah.
Now, I challenge you and you, Johnny.
Absolutely. I'm taking on the challenge. I'm committed.
It's such a powerful thing. One of my good friends told me this last winter sometime, February, I think. Did I stick to it every day? I'm human. Of course I didn't. But I know that I will do it. Will I miss a day here and there? Sure. But I have become very consistent with it. Building the discipline, the habits to do it, it's changed the total outlook. One other thing I want to leave you with, because this kind of comes into play.
Yeah.
Once you have this wisdom, you don't lose it. You build on it, right? So let's say a situation comes up.
Correct.
When something happens, there's a guy named Bob Proctor, and Bob Proctor was really, he was one of my greatest mentors. I never met him, but it was, virtual when he was doing these programs. Unbelievable.
He just passed now recently, right?
He did, yes, like 3 years ago. Yeah.
Recently. Yep.
He said that there's this space in between stimulus and response. And it's very, very short. It's a small space where you get to choose, and you have to choose quick because it's a small space. Do you want to react to that situation, or do you want to respond?
Powerful.
When you react, you remain out of control. You give up all of your control. But when you respond, you keep yourself in control. And it's very important. So that's one challenge that I would love to leave you with. I truly believe that if you continue with it day after day, you'll start seeing everything differently.
Wow.
So different in such a great way.
Man, Ronnie, there's nothing else that can be said. Man, that's so powerful. Mic drop with the mic. Man, I'm super appreciative. I thank you. I cherish our relationship. It says comment. Okay. Your time. Okay. There's 3 comments that I would like to read out really quick on YouTube. Yes, on YouTube. It says from George Harvey, it says your time, money, energy, and peace of mind are your freedom unit. The more freedom units one has, the wealthier one is. That was one of his comments. The second comment from George Harvey, it says, I'm still watching and I'm still listening. Powerful, my brother. And the last one, gentlemen, thank you for this. That's powerful. Shout out to George Harvey for those wonderful comments. And we appreciate everybody in real attendance and the people that come and see this after the fact, because we know how this thing circulates. We put this into the ethos and it takes on an algorithm of itself. And I think that we are proponents of that energy that we put out there. And I know that we have and embody those great qualities. And I know that we're going to pass these things forward. And when we come together like this, it's more power. We actually, create a force behind who we are and what we do. And it's stamping it into the world that no, what's going on right there is powerful. We need more of those things. So having this dialogue with you today, I appreciate that on a whole nother level, because it means a lot to me. It means that you're willing not only to show up for yourself, you're showing up for me, and you showed up for our audience. So those are the things I want to, highlight and make it known that this is what people like us do things like this. And we build this fellowship. And I appreciate you, Ronnie. Thank you. I thank your family. I appreciate your wife. Everybody else that connected to you, everybody else that's connected to you. It's allowing you to grow in ways that, you're better than you were yesterday. And I think you have the same impact on those same individuals. And I've seen it within your family from, infancy stages when we were younger, youth stages. I've seen that because I've seen the morals being instilled. I've seen when we did the wrong thing or wasn't focused. We got your pops told us, Mr. Ruggiero, hey, nah, cut that out. No time for the bull crap. You got to build some, you got to toughen up. So he gave us those moments to allow us to be children, but also be mentally strong. And those are the things, the characteristics, do that 110%. Are you doing that 110%? Are you going out there? Are you shoveling? Are you putting in that extra effort? Those are the things that, build the character, Yeah. So when you're going out there and you seeking challenges, it's a no-brainer when you got to go out there and do that long walk by yourself. You're built for it because you've been preparing your whole life for that moment. And right now it's been the season years that we've been preparing ourselves from one time that we shared as kids. We've been preparing and building ourselves up to be men to have the same type of this conversation today. And I think that's a testament to who we are and how we, learned and grown and matured throughout our journey. So once again, I thank you, man.
Johnny, thank you so much, man. This has been nothing short of a blessing. And I mean, for us to come and connect again, only God could do that, man. And I have nothing but respect for you. And I mean, we've been on this journey, right? Yep. And just from where we were, all the things we've been through personally, right, to where we are now, it's just incredible. And I want you to know, man, I'm so proud of you, dude. I really am. I truly mean that. When I first saw your picture, it was definitely on YouTube, and I was like, man, what's he doing? I started looking into it, and I said, that's really Johnny. There was no way I was letting that go by where I couldn't reach out. So I'm so happy that we were able to put this together. I'm so grateful to be on this, and this has been really, really great. And we'll keep in touch, right? And we'll
absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to do this again. How can the people out there reach you?
So you can go on my Instagram handle, Ronald J. Ruggiero Jr. We put up a lot of content. We're going to start making a lot more. So you'll get snippets of things that you learned here today. Right. And we have a coaching program rolling out. Let's go. Any real estate needs you may have, if you want to learn more about investing, reach out. I would love to teach you, to educate you, and just give you as much value as I possibly can.
Yeah. Oh man, thank you so much. You can reach me at respectfullygreat.com. Go there. You can sign up to our blog, sign up to our email list. We do those things over there. You also show up on our YouTube pages, any of the social media handles, Instagram, etc. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to both our channels, because we need that algorithm up. We need the people to be in tune with what we got going on. Do all of those great things, like, share, subscribe, all the social media stuff, because we got to get that out. So let people know we were remiss if we didn't do it, because people like, you didn't tell them to go, but we tell y'all today. Today, go like, go share, go subscribe, and give up them thumbs up. Turn on those notifications, all of the social media things. Please go out there and do it. And more importantly, love yourself during the process, because that's more important. Build those relationships, and there's nothing on the planet that you can't do if you put your mind to it. So we're signing out, and we will see you next time. Respectfully.